You're listening to the Handcrafted Therapy podcast with massage therapist and business owner, Julie Alexander. That's me. I'm your host. I've been a massage therapist for 17 years, and I have a business marketing degree. On this podcast, we'll be interviewing industry professionals that can talk to us about how to run your business better, how to be a better massage therapist overall, and how to take care of yourself and give yourself a little love, a little self-care, little grace in your life. I am so glad that you're here. Thanks so much for joining us today. Hello. I wanted to do a non-interview episode to kind of tell the audience a little more about me. I don't really like to focus on myself. I'd rather focus on other people. But I think since you're following my podcast and we're listening to a lot of great massage therapy instructors and influencers in our industry, as well as other business owners that are helping us take the time to learn some really important tips on how to make our businesses better as massage therapists, I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of give you a little insight into Julie and who I am and where I came from and where I'm going and what I'm doing right now. I have an exciting time. I was born and raised in Indiana. I am a Hoosier, Hoosier. My mom went to IU, which is Indiana University. My dad went to Purdue. My mom's a teacher. My dad is an engineer. I feel like a typical Midwestern girl. I moved down to Texas when I graduated from high school. I studied business marketing at the University of North Texas and got my bachelor's of marketing degree in 2007. I worked as a marketing director and marketing manager, I was kind of a one-man marketing show for most of the small businesses that I worked for. And that gave me some really great insight as to how to run a business, to be honest, because I did everything from their logo design to website updates, to newsletters, graphic design work, email communications, some PR, a little bit of everything. And so when you work in a small business like that as a marketing person, you do get your hands in all kinds of stuff. And it's kind of cool to be able to be involved in the big picture of the small business that you work for, which was incredibly helpful for me today, as you can imagine. So I got laid off from my marketing job in 2011. I was working as a full-time marketing person in corporate America up until 2011. And I went to massage school at night after work. So I would work 9 to 5. I would drive an hour to Denton, which is about an hour north of where I live, to go to evening classes until about 10 o'clock at night. And then I would come home and do it all over again the next day. But I did end up finally graduating. It took me a while. I wasn't 18 when I graduated in 2007, that's for sure. But I was lucky enough to find my husband. We were lucky enough to find each other, I guess, around that same time. So when I graduated, I also had an engagement party to celebrate not only my graduation from college, but also my engagement to my husband, Corey. So we've been married now 15 years. I've also been a massage therapist for 15 years. So that's kind of exciting. That was an exciting time for me. After we got married, we lived in Richardson. I continued to do marketing for a couple of years and do massage work kind of nights and weekends, not very much. But then when I got let go of from my marketing job, they were downsizing. I think it was 2011. I came home in tears, totally upset. Looking back on it, I think that's probably the best day of my life, to be honest. But at the time, I did not realize how much of a great thing that was when that happened. Yeah, it was pretty incredible how something so sad at the moment turned into something that was the best thing that could ever happen to me. So count your blessings. So after I got let go from my marketing job, I came home and I talked to my husband, Corey, and I said, listen, I really want to pursue this massage therapy thing full time. I know we're going to take a big pay cut by doing this, but I think I'm just going to be happier and it's going to make my life better overall. So I decided to go into massage full time, and my husband was very supportive of it, even though we knew it was going to be a significant pay cut and we didn't know what it was going to look like. But I just knew that I loved massage and I needed something less stressful in my life to to go to work to. I mean, I was in my corporate job. I was at a point where I was driving to work and hoping that I would get in a car accident so that I wouldn't have to go. And that's not a mental place that anybody should be in. And I'm so very thankful that I found massage therapy because I literally think it saved my mental health and saved my life in so many ways, both mentally and physically. Because I was also at the point in my body where I couldn't sit at a desk for more than about half an hour because my sciatica was so bad. I was getting massages on a regular basis at that point, and it was really helping me, but I needed to get steroid injections, which I didn't want to do. But I was at a point where I couldn't even sit for, like I said, more than 10, 20 minutes without pain. So I got this steroid injection. I made a change in my life. I started doing massage instead of sitting at a desk. I also started getting regular chiropractic treatment, acupuncture, as well as I had a physical trainer. So between all of those things, I focused on my body and my health, and I got to the point where I knew how to manage my back pain. So my first massage job was at the Omni Dallas Hotel downtown. It was the convention center hotel. It was brand new. It was open on 11/11/11, and I started very shortly after that. And what a way to start. I mean, most people start their massage careers, I say this, but I'm making some assumptions by saying this, but I do believe that most people start their massage careers at Massage Envy, Massage Green, Massage Hand and Stone, at a franchised station rather than a luxury spa. But I wanted to get a feel for how the best people run the best spas. So I felt like I needed to start at the top and see what happens. So I worked at the Omni. I worked at a couple other really nice spas in Dallas. And we moved from Richardson to Plano. And then I decided to open my own business. I started off by renting a room from a wellness center that had a chiropractor and a dietitian. My thought was it would be great to be around a dietitian because maybe her information will rub off on me and I can make healthier choices. And it actually worked because there were some times when I was like, I really just want to be bad, have a milkshake or whatever. And she kind of helped me through those times and asked me like, well, what about a milkshake do you really want? I'm like, it's cold and it is yummy and it's cold because it's in Texas and it's like 100 and whatever outside. So anyway, she goes, what about a smoothie instead? So, I started making better health decisions, being around the dietitian, getting chiropractic care. I started really focusing on my massage career and how I was going to focus my business. And I think this is where I think a lot of people don't really know what to do is they open their doors and they're like, okay, where's all the people? Right? You post on social media and you tell all your friends and family, you get out there, you put yourself out there, and then you're not busy. And that happens a lot. And fortunately, I have a kind of unique story, and maybe it's not that unique, but at the time it was, I started my business 7 years ago, which was 2015. And Groupon was really big back then before it became a 4-letter word. So I ran a Groupon for a massage and a 3-pack of massages. And that was really popular. And to be honest, that's where I started my business, was Groupon. It really did help me get people in the door. Now, I know that there's horror stories and there's cringing going on right now as I say the word Groupon. I know how bad we don't like to hear about Groupon, but let me tell you the marketing side of me and how I took my Groupon to a place of success. The key to doing that is to treat every person, whether they're a Groupon person or a full price person, like they're a VIP. The most important person that's on your table at the moment is the client that you're working on. And, one of the most important things that I've also learned from talking to clients and getting their feedback is that they really want somebody to listen to them. And I'm going to repeat that so you heard me correctly. They want somebody to listen to them. And if you're a massage therapist and you're going through the motions and working on a lot of people every day, and you have your own life, as we all do, we might forget to do this. It's easy to just kind of skim past what the person says to you at the intake and do your routine and get them out the door and move on to the next person. I understand that, but I think the way I created my successful business and my waitlist practice was by listening to the client. And I make sure that they know that I've heard them. I repeat it after they tell me. So if client A comes in and says, my right side of my neck really hurts and it's going down to my shoulders and I'm having problems in my left hip. Okay. And then I repeat that back to them. You're having problems in your left hip, and you're having problems in your right neck. And those are the 2 places I really want to focus on today for you, because those are your 2 complaint points. Is there anything else we need to focus on? Do we want to focus the whole massage time on those 2 areas? Do you want a full body massage? So I'm asking a lot of probing questions to find out how I can be successful in this hour and a half, however long the massage is, and exceed their expectations. Because if they're expecting me to do a full body massage and I don't, then I've disappointed them. If they expect me to get rid of their pain in their neck and their hip and not do their hands and feet, whatever, that's a waste of time, then I need to know that before going into it. So I repeat back to them what they told me. And then while I'm working on them, so I'll work on their right side of their neck. I'll say, how's this feeling? Am I hitting the right spot? You can direct me to make sure I'm going to the right places on your body, because I want to be your massage therapist and I want you to train me. Put your humility aside. You probably are a fantastic massage therapist for some people, but you want to be a fantastic massage therapist for the person that's on your table. And to do that, they need to communicate with you and tell you how to be their favorite massage therapist, right? So in order for that communication to happen, you really have to ask questions. You really have to get in there and make a point of letting them know that you care about them and what they want from that session and what they want and need from you. And sometimes what they want and what they need are two different things. And that's, again, part of what our bigger communication sign is, to talk about that. I have people that sometimes will come in and go, I really don't like this bolster under my knees. And I'll say, well, I'm happy to remove it. But the reason I have it there is to help support your low back a little better when you're laying face up. But I'll be happy to remove it. Some people have said to me, no, oh, no, I didn't realize it was there for that reason. Let's keep it there. Some people are like, nope, I don't like it. Remove it. I don't care what it's there for. So it's good to ask to find out, because and different strokes for different folks, literally, right? And then at the end of the session, I always ask, did I satisfy your needs? Did we, how does your neck feel? How does that left hip feel? They really get the sense that I not only listen to their problem, but address the issues during the session, and then wanted to make sure that we got the results that we wanted at the end. Sometimes there's some education involved with making sure that our clients know that we can't magically fix people in one session. We all know that. And sometimes that takes a little bit of encouragement from you. You're going in the right direction. We're doing all the right things. You're doing your stretches at home and your homework. We're going on the right path. We're making progress. Just hang in there. One thing I do like to tell people is that when we're doing more natural remedies like massage therapy, it's not going to be a magic pill that you can just take and then it's over, right? Like drugs that you take or surgeries that you have to help you. But massage is a lot more of a natural remedy. So we have to remember that because of that, it's going to take a little longer, but the side effects are going to be a lot less. So I think that's important to convey to especially a new massage goer that might not understand that it's not a one and done kind of fix. A lot of people do know this, especially older people that have done massages before or gotten massages on a regular basis, that sometimes it's worth the education and talking to the client. I kind of like to throw in a phrase that says, I'm not just trying to sell you here. I'm actually caring about your health. And the phrase that I like to say to convey that message is, even if you don't come to see me on a regular basis, I would really suggest you get regular massage. And that kind of leaves the ball in their court. No pressure, no sales pressure. I know my strength, and I know that I'm more expensive and booked out ahead of time. So, if you want to go to someplace that's more affordable, more convenient, easier to get into, I fully support that decision for you and your body. So I think that makes it easier for people to not feel pressure, and not very many people actually take me up on that. They continue to come to me. So I think that just puts them a little more at ease. I don't feel like the used car salesman trying to force them into coming to just one person. To me, not, I'm not the end all be all of all massage therapists. And I know that. And I know that I am not going to be for everybody, because I am a much more therapeutic driven, results driven massage therapist. And if you're looking for something that's soothing and relaxing or a lymphatic drainage, I'm not your gal, and that's okay. I have plenty of people that I can refer you to that can do that kind of work. Or if you're looking for Thai stretching or ashiatsu, Anyway, you guys know. So I opened my business. I was in the wellness center with the dietitian and the chiropractor, doing my Groupons, cranking my workout. I stopped the Groupon because it was selling like hotcakes, and I needed to just manage that and put a cap on it, because I was afraid I was going to overdo it and oversell them. And I didn't want to do that, because I had realized that a lot of people have done that and sold too many of them and couldn't fulfill the needs of the clientele that bought the Groupon because there were too many sold. So I was really hyper aware of that situation at the time, 7 years ago when I was running the Groupon, just to make sure that I wasn't going to burn out myself right away and that I wasn't overselling it. Because I did literally intend to make Groupon the igniter of my business, and it really did work. I started to run a referral program. So I asked my clients, I worked with a professional coach, and that was the number one thing I got out of a professional coaching session was ask clients for referrals. If you don't get anything else out of this podcast, take that. Just ask for referrals. If you're wanting to grow your business and your clients love you, ask those clients for referrals. I mean, it sounds hard to do because it is a little awkward, but if you want to know how I did it, which I'm sure you all are sitting on the edge of your seats right now, waiting for me to tell you. Anyway, I like to ask people after they're done with their massage and they tell me how awesome they feel and how great they think I am or whatever they're telling me, all the good things. And it's usually I'm waiting for these compliments. So when at the time they're giving me a compliment, if they don't give me compliments, I don't usually ask them because I want somebody who's genuinely happy with my services before I ask them for a referral. So I'll say, thank you so much for coming in. I'm so thankful that you feel better and that I've been able to help you. If you know anybody else that could use my services or would like a massage like this and would like me, I'm accepting new clients. So please refer me to them. Here's my card. And during the time I was building my business, on the back of my business card, I actually put that if it's your first time in, you get 50% off. Because that's what I was running on Groupon. So why wouldn't I extend that to the rest of the world, especially since Groupon was taking half of the half. So that also helped me grow my business. So first I did Groupon, which pays you less than, it's about 23.5% of what. So if you're charging $100, for instance, you run a Groupon for 50% off. Groupon takes half. So they take $25. You get $25 minus the credit card processing fee. So in the end, you're getting about $23.50 for a $100 massage. So there's the math. So what you have to do is think about what is your overhead cost? How much does it cost you per massage to run your business? And if you're not making enough, $23.50 from Groupon sales, then, be careful not to oversell yourself on Groupon because so many businesses have gone under because they've oversold themselves on Groupon and they don't know what their break-even cost is. So your break-even cost is how much does it cost you to do a massage? One massage. That is, how much does it cost you? That includes how much you would pay yourself, how much is your rent, how much is your electricity, how much does it cost for you to do, and maybe you break it down by day and then break it down by an hour, or break it down by month, then break it down by week, and then break it down by the hour, for instance. But break it down because that's an important number for you to know. Because if it costs you $20 an hour to do a massage, then, starting out your business and doing a Groupon and making $23.50 for your massage could make sense for you, plus tips. At least you're making a profit. But if it's $25 and they're not tipping you, then you're under. And it's actually costing you money to work. And you don't want that. So that's my advice about Groupon and referrals. I think the referrals are really, really important. Now, if you have good clients, they want to help you. People love to help the small business owner. I always tell my clients that, especially those that refer clients to me, thank you so much for supporting my small business. It means the world to me. And I think sincerity goes a long way. Put your pride aside, show your humility, show your vulnerability. Let your clients know that you want to grow your business and you would like their help. You like them as a client. And I want more people like you because you're a good client. And that is a compliment to them. So ask for the referral is my point there. So let's see. I grew my business so much, I was fully booked all the time. And that took me about 2 years. So once I got to the 2-year mark, I decided to expand my business and I moved into my own space that has 4 rooms. I'm still there now. And I was going to hire 1 or 2 massage therapists and an esthetician. And I'm going to work out of the 1 room and go from there. Unfortunately, being an employer and having employees is challenging. And so, in my opinion, it was more difficult than I would have liked. I didn't like having employees. It wasn't my favorite thing to do, especially massage therapists. They're difficult at best. They bring a lot of drama. Sorry, people, but it's true. And I decided to switch my business model into having a renters instead of employees. And that was a personal decision based on my stress level, basically, because having employees was just a highly stressful situation. I had a couple of employees that just did me wrong and stole from me and lied to me, and I didn't trust them. And there was just so much drama. So I switched to a renter model, and that's been great. Once I found the right renters, I think that's really the most important thing. And I've helped my renters grow their businesses as well. And I refer clients to them all the time. We work together really, really well now. And we've been in this space for now 5 years. I just signed my lease for another 5 years at the place I'm at. We ended up putting in an infrared sauna in the 4th room for us to use to have some passive income. In the first episode of my podcast, you might have listened to Peggy Lamb talk about passive income. So that was a way we did passive income. Of course, yeah, it's an upfront cost to pay for a sauna. But, during the pandemic, they were on sale. So I bought one from Costco. So pandemic, let's talk about the pandemic for a minute. I think many of us everywhere, all over the world, no matter your industry, we all went, WTF, what the heck are we going to do here? What is happening? How are we going to do this? And from the first day I opened, I decided, with the help of my husband, that I was going to stick to the rules of wearing a mask and doing the right thing and making good cleaning protocols and, doing all the things I needed to do correctly. And the very first massage I had scheduled after I opened, after the closure, my client called me the day before and said, do I have to wear a mask during my massage? And I said, yes, I'm sorry, that's the rule. You're going to have to wear a mask during your massage. And she said, well, I'm not going to come in. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but that's the rule. So she canceled her appointment, and that's fine. Little did we know, that was May, I think got back in May of 2020. Little did we know how long this was going to last, how big this was going to get. 2 years later, we're still talking about it, right? 2.5 years later, we're still dealing with it. We're still getting vaccines and booster shots. Fortunately, it's a lot better than it was back then, but we had very little knowledge of what we were getting into. And as a business owner, as a massage therapist, as somebody that deals with people in very close setting, and I have a lot of compromised clients. I have a lot of clients that are elderly, autoimmune compromised. Some of them have cancer, so I have a broad spectrum of people in my client list who I didn't want to be in any way responsible for them getting a virus that could potentially cause severe health damage to them. And that's also why I decided to get myself vaccinated as well. And I know that's a hot topic and it shouldn't be political, but it has gotten political. But I have decided I made that personal decision to do that and mostly it was for the safety of me, my family, and my client. So, and I was very transparent with my clientele during this time. I made these decisions based on the information I was given from, the CDC and the World Health Organization and other healthcare professionals in our circle that I trusted. And we all lived through it. It was challenging, but we all lived through it. And looking back on it, I am super grateful for my husband and my clients and my friends that helped support me to make the right decision because it was stressful. Y'all know it was stressful. I know there were people out there doing black market massages on the side, trying to just get by and make it in life. And no judgment now, but man, at the time it was really stressful to try to figure out what was going on, get the PPP money and, all this stuff. So anyway, I came up with some good cleaning protocols that I have continued to use. And I probably will never return to the way things used to be just because now I feel like I know too much. I did, while we were closed down for the pandemic, I did a lot of webinars. I listened to a lot of things about what was going on with the CDC and the, World Health Organization and massage associations and healthcare providers and just trying to learn as much as I could about how I can make my workspace as safe and clean and the best it could be based on the knowledge we had. And it was stressful, but like I said, we all lived through it and we've survived it. So yay. As of right now, I have not gotten COVID, knock on wood. I've gotten my second booster shot just a couple weeks ago, and I have been exposed several times to COVID, both by family members. My husband got it twice. My clients have gotten it, and we didn't know they had it when they came in. I've had my renter got it a couple times while she was at the spa, and I've just been really lucky. Maybe I have a really good immune system. I don't know. Maybe it's the vaccine. I'm just lucky that I've not had to experience that, but I've been very careful. Anyway, I need to move on from this subject because I know we're all tired of COVID, but I thought we needed to address it in this topic because it is something that changed my business for the better forever. I used to have 15 minutes in between each session. Now I've extended that to 30 minutes. And I'm really glad I did that because, I do several things in between sessions. I check somebody out. I clean. Of course, I go to the bathroom. I do my stuff, whatever that stuff is. I clean my cups, whatever tools I've used. I clean the table off. I clean the door handles and the light switches, anything that we've touched. I clean everything out before the next person gets there. And then I have to get ready for the next person to come in and then greet them to come in, do their intake, get them on the table. And to do that all in a half an hour is, pretty impressive. And for me to think that I did that in 15 minutes pre-pandemic is pretty incredible because I mean, I can't believe I'm doing it in a half an hour. So now to know I do it in a half an hour is pretty good, but I don't know how I ever did it in 15 minutes. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I have my protocol set in place. I still use a UV light to clean every night. So I clean the room up, clean all my tools, set out my tools on my table, get out the UV light, and let the UV light run for an hour after I leave in the evenings. So there's been a lot of shift that I've had to experience in my business, from not having employees to having renters instead, to a global pandemic, and learning how to shift into a different model where we have a little more time in between sessions. I raise my prices every year. That's another thing, because of supply and demand. So as you know, the supply and demand curve says that if you have a high demand of something and a low supply of it, that the price goes up. So if there's a lot of something and nobody wants it, it's going to be cheap. If there's not a lot of something and a lot of people want it, it's expensive. So not to dumb it down for you guys, but I wanted to make that clear what the supply and demand curve really means, because that's really important piece of what your pricing structure should look like. When your demand goes down and you have lots of holes in your schedule and you're looking for people to fill them, that's when you should be sending out promotion. $10 off your next massage, whatever it is, or however you want to put out a promotion. But you might do some sort of a promotion, like a free add-on, a free hot stone add-on, or a free foot scrub, or, half off an additional half hour, something like that, to kind of get people in the door. Because if your demand has been lower because inflation rates have gone up, people are busy, whatever the case may be, whatever reason why people won't come in the door right now, and you've got gaps in your schedule, that's when you really want to push offering some special things to get them back in your door. But I do want to reiterate the idea of asking for referrals. I think that's super important. If you have happy clients, which I'm sure you all do, if you're a good massage therapist and you're listening to this podcast, you care about your business, you care about your clients, you care about yourself. And so I would definitely recommend that you ask for that referral to help grow your business. Push out those email marketing tools. Don't just use Instagram. Don't just use Facebook. Don't just use one form of communication, because not everybody likes to be communicated in the same way. So, that's really important, to use multiple ways to communicate with your audience. If people start to opt out, that means you're over communicating. So that's when you need to stop. But if people are not opting out, then continue to communicate with them. I have a bad habit of not communicating enough by email and social media, mainly because I have really no spots available. And so I don't send out anything unless it's important and it needs to be said. Anyway, as we look towards the future, for me, I am getting ready to open a massage supply and training center in Plano, Texas. It'll be near the corner of Parker and 75 or Central Expressway. The address is 3303 Central Expressway, North Central Expressway, suite number 240, Plano, Texas, 75023. My phone number is 972-658-7722. I'm looking for a retail manager to hire to help me run the store. I'm really preferring somebody who has retail experience. I would love it if they're a massage therapist or used to be a massage therapist. If you're looking to maybe get out of business and stop massaging and have some retail experience, please give me a call. 972-658-7722. I'll say it again. I'm sure Ashley will put it in our comments at the bottom so you can contact me. My email address is info@handcraftedtherapy.com. So you can also send me a resume. Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting time to open a retail store. It's scary because, inflation prices and everything's kind of going up right now. But in Dallas, we used to have a store called Body Logic that was in Addison, and it was ran for over 30 years, I think almost 40 years, very successfully. And he closed his shop before the pandemic, or right before the pandemic, he retired. And so there is a need for a space here in the Metroplex. We don't have anything to go to. We have Massage Warehouse and Amazon to buy stuff online, but we really need a place to have classes, to have events for the AMTA. I'm looking at having several different types of CE classes, and just looking forward to having a community of network of massage therapists and a place to have that. My goal is to have a store that when you walk in, you feel like you're getting a big hug when you walk in the door, welcoming and comfortable place to be. So that's my goal with the store and training center. Again, if you know anybody or can think of anyone that might be interested, or if you might be interested in helping me open the retail store, or you have retail experience and want to be the manager, please let me know. I would be very, very grateful and very honored to get any inquiry about that position. It'll be fun. It'll be a great place to work. And I have a couple of other people who are going to be working part-time. So you won't be the only person. So there you go. That's the exciting part about the future of what's going on in my life with handcrafted therapy. So I am so thankful for this podcast and for my listeners and for everybody out there. I'm working really hard to get the store open. So yeah, we're just rocking and rolling, man. So thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your encouragement, your following, your listening, and I hope you all good health and good wealth. And I look forward to the next episode of the Handcrafted Therapy podcast. Thank you so much for joining me on the Handcrafted Therapy podcast. I would love to hear from you. You can email us at podcast@handcraftedtherapy.com, or you can come by the store. It's at 3303 North Central Expressway, suite number 240 in Plano, Texas, 75023. Or you can connect with me on social, Instagram, Facebook, #Handcrafted Therapy. I'm Julie Alexander, and I wish you a very happy and healthy day.